I'm trying to spend as little time in that fucking shithole as possible. I hate the gym.
And so I'm trying to spend as little time in that hole as possible. I hate the gym. And so what happens? He keeps up dosing the test. So are these two guys just like on steroids, and are they like banging or what?
That's like going on a fucking roller coaster 100 times in a row. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Of course it's gonna get boring. So I like to just get in and out of there.
This is a brain rot special.
Tiamat's cooking in the basement.
Don't take away my credit for doing my due diligence, having to figure out, alternative ways to ship things to my house.
And so I stand corrected. I thought he might have snuck into his parents' room and possibly got it from them, but apparently he was able to order it on his own. And so if you're a parent watching this, track what your kids are doing. Now, you can't always discover what they are, but consider this. Imagine you have a 15-year-old, perhaps he's named Eric English, I don't know. Could you not say, you know what, I just want to check to make sure that you're natural because your bench press went up 100 pounds in the last couple weeks, and I'm kind of nervous that maybe something's caused you to gain 50 pounds that quickly. And so you get your blood work done, of which, by the way, if you're interested in blood work, you can click on AlgoRx and use code Greg for 10% off. And while you're there, you can also get HRT and clomiphene. You can get Ozempic, tirzepatide, but you can't get Retta. Because Retta, it's not even FDA approved. It's literally not prescribed for human use as of yet.
You know, my parents are losers. They confiscated my testosterone when I'm 14. I know what I'm doing.
Greg, what would you do if I confiscated your testosterone?
Well, considering I'm 50 and I have a doctor's prescription for it, and you came and stole it, I would probably just call the police and say, Clavicular, whatever his name is. He stole my testosterone. I think that he wants to use it on himself. I mean, he's very smart. He knows how to get the products that he needs. He's 19, he doesn't need testosterone, and perhaps he just stole it from me for his own personal use. And so can you please help me out? That is what I would do.
So when I'm on a testosterone cycle and I get all my hormones taken away from me, of course I'm fucking upset.
Does this sound like a man who's maybe, just maybe, a little bit addicted to this? If you took his hormones away, what would he do? He'd be hypogonadal. And whose fault exactly is that? Oh, let me guess. The person who started using steroids at 14.
I mean, if your kid continues to get steroids at 14 and you're a parent, you need to do whatever you need to do to make it stop happening. Having a camera installed in every room of the house.
And so isn't it ironic that his words, not mine, whatever it takes. And so he preaches whatever it takes. He learned it from Rich Piana. And so whatever it takes, I'm going to use steroids, I'm going to use meth, whatever. But when I say that a parent needs to do whatever it takes to protect their children, oh, that's wrong, that's bad. Because kids, they're going to use steroids and drugs anyway. And so, heavens forbid, as a parent, you're trying and doing whatever it takes to ensure the safety of your family. How is that bad?
Who is watching this? Who watches this guy? Be honest. Like, oh my God. 2.3 million retards, okay?
No, it's not 2.3 million retards. It's 2.3 million morons. Everybody knows that. But I guess he's only 19. He's only recently discovered Coach Greg.
Let's see the anabolic cookbooks, buddy. Huh? Okay, $100 for a fucking cookbook.
Actually, the better cookbook is $200, and I've sold nearly 100,000 of these Clavicular, and so imagine the lives that have been changed. You don't have to look smacks by using meth and abusing Retta, taking testosterone when you're a teenager. Why not just do it the old-fashioned way through healthy eating? Putting the fork down, doing 150 minutes of Zone 2 cardio a week. How is it bad to be healthy? Oh, but it's not a shortcut, and so why would I do it the old-fashioned way? Well, last I checked, by exercising, doing cardio, working out, you not only look better, but you feel better as well. A sense of accomplishment from knowing that you did that to yourself, and a little bonus, you're gonna live longer than last time.
Yeah, rest in peace, Rich Piana. But, I try to live my life like according to his saying, whatever it takes. That's probably my favorite quote of all time.
I mean, the irony on his favorite quote of all time and not be able to see that other people outside of himself can apply it as well. Yeah, whatever it takes doesn't just apply to you. It applies to your parents, to your grandma, your grandpa, everybody. And so how can you not see that it makes sense for a parent to do whatever it takes to ensure the safety of his family?
I've never even recommended Adderall.
You technically don't have to say, I recommend you do this. You just tell everybody, looks maxing is the most important thing you could ever do in your life. You walk around with a halo, you can do no wrong. And how do you look max? Well, use testosterone, use Retta, you go on a diet. Perhaps you need some stim, some Adderall, some meth. I'm just saying what I do. I'm not recommending it to anyone. And then your legion of fans who are all 14 to 16 years of age are thinking, well, I need to copy this man because he knows what he's doing. And so they start laying on their bed and smashing their faces in order to get some bigger cheekbones. And then they start poking needles outside of their eyes to get hunter eyes. What is wrong with you?
You know, I've never sat here and told people in an unironic context to do methamphetamine, okay?
And Togi's probably never told anyone to go out there and gamble. But do you not think through the power of influence that he's influenced countless thousands to do the same? 79! And so, Clavicular, do you understand that you're the new worst influencer on YouTube? Worse than Togi.
This is a prescription stimulant that I have. It's a rare prescription, but it's very similar to Adderall. It's just dextromethamphetamine.
And so he has a prescription for this drug.
Enrique!
Does he also have a prescription for testosterone? How is he getting that? I mean, on one end, oh, it's a prescription and so I need it. Well, what about the testosterone? Which doctor signed off on that?
You could get to where you want to go with Retta. I'm just like a little bit over the top.
And so don't do them. You don't need to do meth. You can get where you need to be with Retta. Retta is not FDA approved. If you use it, you are a guinea pig or lab rat, whatever. And so you're not allowed to use Retta. I understand you can buy it, but the same way that you can buy Tren, it's not actually supposed to be used by humans.
But the only reason I talk about that is because I'm simply an open book.
Speaking of open books, why not open up my cookbook and see some of the delicious recipes in store?
I'm using that cheat code every time. Maybe that'll ruin the experience a little bit, you know, the grind, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to win.
Do I even need to comment on that? Rather than playing the game the way it was meant to be, he just wants to find a cheat code so that he can do it in 10% of the time. What's the point of the game? What else? You want to read a book. Instead of reading the book, you just get a summary of the book on ChatGPT. There. What if you wanted the experience of actually reading that book? I mean, when you go to the movies, do you not want to watch the movie for 2 hours and see what happens? Instead of reading a summary, oh, I'll just watch the trailer. Sometimes in life, the challenge, or let's call it the journey, is better than the destination. And who is this boyfriend on the right? Who is bro? Why is he there? He's not saying almost anything.
And he's a neural divergent. Which
Neural?
has
Motherfucker can't even say
Right,
neural.
you're on Neuralink. Neuralink.
How can you possibly think that you weren't influenced to take steroids to develop a better
I didn't even
physique?
have Instagram. I didn't have Instagram.
Oh, and so I stand corrected. He wasn't influenced because he didn't have Instagram. There's no possible other form of influence that happens in 2025 aside from Instagram. And so he says, I wasn't influenced by anyone. I just went to Reddit. Raise your hand if you've ever been on Reddit. It's an echo chamber of bullshit amongst insecure men who are all turked up and have no idea what they're doing. You really don't think that you're influenced? You go to Reddit and you read the forums? That's even worse. And so just because you weren't swiping right to David Lade when you were a teenager doesn't mean you weren't influenced.
And then I come across on forums and Reddit, here's a drug that you can take to enhance your progress.
I mean, it writes itself. I wasn't influenced by anyone to take steroids or to develop body dysmorphia, yet I read on Reddit that you can take steroids and build muscle faster than last time. Why waste your time in the gym when you can use steroids? And so I decided to use steroids. Logically, that made sense.
Enrique!
It's too bad he didn't watch a Coach Greg video at the same time where I said, wait until you're older. Wouldn't it have been good? Imagine, ask this kid's parents, you know what? Do you think that Coach Greg would have been a better influence than Derek and or Rich Piana? Which person do you want your son to listen to? I think we know the answer.
Why did you want muscles in the first place? You must have seen somewhere that people with bigger muscles, better bodies, taller, better looking.
I just did it just because.
I mean, for a man who's trying to answer everything logically, I just did it. I said, why would you be using steroids? Why would you think you need to get more muscles? I just did it. You were just born into the thought that you needed bigger muscles and to be taller, to be valued as a member of society. You didn't just turn out that way. You were influenced to believe that. In the same way that people who watch your videos are going to be influenced to think that they're not good enough. That unless they beat the shit out of their faces and grow more orbital bones, that they're somehow not good enough. Do you really think that everyone needs to look at their face in the mirror and worry about their nasal labial folds? Or if their face is too inwardly recessed? Really? It's bad enough that many people are worried about the size of their downstairs, and now they're going to be worried about their coccyx bones, the orbital maxillar, and other problems of the face.
But no, I wasn't influenced by anybody.
I was influenced by Rich Piana in a lot of different ways.
Isn't it ironic that he was influenced by Rich Piana in a lot of different ways, and Rich Piana passed away in 2017, 8 years ago. That would make him 11. And so when he was 11 years old, Rich Piana had passed away.
And when I was watching him force down the most disgusting sludge 12 meals a day.
And so he watched Rich Piana force down 12 meals a day, and that influenced him to do what? To take 15 milligrams of Retta and avoid eating? Like, make it make sense. Rich Piana saying, eat big to get big. Clavicular, take Retta to stop eating. Oh, and also lace in some math.
Greg, but if we could go on a time machine and put you when you were 14 years old and you have access to my videos and my information, you would probably be significantly taller.
And so if we went back in time in my time machine to when Coach Greg was 14, he's saying if I implemented his protocol that I would be taller. I maximized my height at 13 years of age. I was completely done growing at 13. All 5'6" of me. And so how would it have been beneficial at 14 to hop on steroids? I mean, it's bad enough that I started using steroids into my 30s, but at least I trained hard and last time for 20 years, had done 42 natural bodybuilding competitions before I eventually succumbed to using steroids in order to get my IFBB Pro card.
The fact that he's 6'2" alone, it almost doesn't even matter anything else.
Like, yeah, I'm a little taller than people, but at the end of the day, it's all about the fucking face to a high degree.
I don't understand how he doesn't understand the message. I'm saying, look, he's already 6'2". When people say, hey, what height is ideal for man? It's probably somewhere between 6'2" and 6'3". He's right on the cusp of it. He's at the 95th percentile for height. And so why would you worry about growing 4 more inches to be 6'6" when you don't even need it? Now, I'm 50 and I'm a 5'6" manlet, and trust me, I can afford to get limb lengthening surgery like that. This is a Tuesday for me. But do you think I'm going to do it? Why would I do it? If I did it, would I increase my value as a human? Probably. But I would feel like an idiot for going through 1 year of a risky surgery where I have to relearn to walk. Have you not seen the man who keeps getting limb lengthening surgeries? He can barely walk. He's walking with a cane. It's painful. I mean, the price is one thing, but what about the risk to your health? Lengthening your limbs, it's not as simple as it seems. Just think of it. The way arteries, nerves, veins are attached, the length of your muscles, it's all going to change and it's going to be very awkward. It's not worth it. And so if he said, you know what, I'm 5'2" and I'm going to get limb lengthening surgery, I could say, you know what, 5'2", perhaps he's very, very short. He's at the 1th percentile. Life is rough. And so if he did that, I'd say, well, I can kind of see his point. But when you're already 6'2", it seems kind of ridiculous. Him getting limb lengthening surgery would be like Coach Greg using Retta. I'm already single-digit body fat. I don't need to be any leaner. I'm already leaner than is needed to be healthy. And so what would be the point?